What's going on, Slatards? Tonight, I want to dive deep into a subject that I haven't covered in a while. A lot of you know that I feel like Bitcoin and cryptocurrency that was created by the NSA or the CIA, and I think there's more than just anecdotal evidence that this is true, right? And I also kind of want to look at why. Why would the NSA, why would the Central Intelligence of the United States want to create cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin specifically and not let anybody know, right? What would the reason be, right? So first in this video, we're going to start out by looking at why I think the NSA or the CIA created Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. The first evidence that I would like to show is this white paper, and you can find it on MIT's website. It's a declassified white paper. And it's from June of 1996. And it's called How to Make a Mint, the Cryptography of Anonymous Electronic Cash. And if you go through this white paper, I'm not going to read it all, but it's basically Bitcoin, right? So somebody in the NSA wrote a paper that mirrors Bitcoin 15 years, not 15, but like 13 years before Bitcoin came out. Maybe 15 years before Bitcoin came out, right? 1996, I think Bitcoin came out in 2009, right? So, and one of the guys in here that's all over the references here is Tasuki Akamoto. You can see it over and over and again. I mean, there's been articles written about this guy, you know, and he's well known in the cryptography realm and stuff like that. So I'm not saying he's Satoshi Nakamoto, and I don't think he is, but I think he had his fingers in this white paper, right, from the NSA that came out and pretty much defined Bitcoin decade before Bitcoin came out, right? So this is very easily found. This was out years and years ago, right? And you may be asking yourself, why would the NSA declassify it? But you know, hide in plain sight, you know, misdirection. So this has been out there, and it predated Bitcoin, and it's basically talking about Bitcoin, right? You can Google it. It's you know, there's been lots and lots of articles about it, right? I mean, I'm not the only one that talks about this. You'll see the Ripple CTO opens up about NSA pass and Satoshi CIA theories. You can read that. You can, you know, look at The Economist did Bitcoin leak from an American spy lab. You know, if you just Google CIA and NSA Satoshi Nakamoto, let's see here. I have my mic cord in front of the keyboard. Sorry. And, you can just see, you know, Tucker Carlson has had a guy on that thinks it's the NSA. He also thinks, you know, Tucker Carlson thinks that Satoshi Nakamoto is the CIA or whatever. So it's not a crazy theory, right? And all these Bitcoiners and all the cryptocurrency like nerds and all the people that are into it, they hate anybody talking about this, right? They deny it. You know, Michael Saylor would deny it. Everybody thinks it's a ludicrous idea, right? So what the crypto people want, the crypto bros want you to believe, they want you to believe that some guy out of the goodness of his heart, worth now $135 billion, created it and never took credit for it, right? Like, what in the history of the world has a $2 trillion valuation and it's revolutionized the financial world, but nobody knows where it comes from, right? And what's even dumber to me is that the willingness of people to put thousands, 100,000s, millions of dollars, billions of dollars into something no one knows the origin, right? Nobody knows the origin. That is another huge piece of evidence that the origin is clandestine, right? And if you don't believe that, then just look at this. Look at this. Let's go to OpenAI, right? Let's just go to AI. And, I don't like AI, but, it'll aggregate data pretty quickly. So this is what I'm using it for on this video, right? I ask it, could the NSA or CIA be Satoshi Nakamoto? And it's like, it's much debated, but there's no direct evidence, blah, 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 blah. Why some people think it could be the NSA or the CIA. And, advanced cryptography is one of them. The NSA created the SHA-256 encryption algorithm, which Bitcoin uses. And the timing and technical depth. The Bitcoin white paper appeared in 2008, right after a global financial crisis, and required deep expertise in distributed systems, game theory, cryptography, and economics. Government research agencies have that level of capability, right? The anonymization capability. So first of all, when it first came out, everybody told you it was anonymous, right? Even how to make a mint was anonymous cash, right? But if you look at this, it's not anonymous. Every transaction is public. Some think it's suspicious that Satoshi built a system that could theoretically let intelligence agencies trace global financial flows more easily than cash, right? First of all, the question I have is why, when Bitcoin first came out, did everybody say it was anonymous, right? What was the selling point for lying to people when it's obviously not, right? That's only one of my questions. My other questions I have is, since Bitcoin failed all the promises, not just anonymous, but all the initial promises, what technology have you ever seen in the world that failed all of its usefulness and all of its promises and didn't go to zero, like MySpace, right? Like, what technology didn't instantly become obsolete when people found out it did nothing, right? How come Bitcoin just never goes down and only goes up, right? That's another evidence to me that it's controlled. And it's controlled in a way that doesn't allow it to fail. And that sounds like to me, clandestine, government, CIA, NSA organization, right? The NSA, CIA could have millions of Bitcoin wallets and from the get-go. They could have had millions of addresses, millions of wallets all over the world, right? And they basically could control it, right? It's in the digital world, especially if the NSA is Satoshi. They have a million coins worth $100 billion now, right? Maybe they're using that to pay off the national debt. We'll get to that later. Historical precedents. The U.S. intelligence community has previously funded advanced cryptographic or communication technologies that later became public. So there's evidence that this could be, right? And then they go into why it's probably not, and no document links. I showed a document leak, right? There is a document link. The how to make a mint document that I just showed, this one right here, is a document link, right? So, still, could it be possible, it says here, could it be possible? Yes, theoretically, since I think it's more than theoretical, right? I think it's more than theoretical. I think it's actually likely. It's actually likely, right? Now, here's another thing, right? If you look at, does Satoshi Nakamoto translate to Central Intelligence, right? It's like, no, it doesn't literally mean that. And then it comes into Satoshi. Check it out. So it says Satoshi here. Satoshi, a wise person from Central origin. Okay. Common Japanese given name means wise, intelligent, clear thinking, or enlightened. A common Japanese surname means central origin. I mean, come on, dude. Like, are these all coincidences? Like, why is it that all these coincidences? You know, everybody says, oh, that's just a coincidence. Oh, the how to make a man, that doesn't mean anything. It's just some old white paper from the NSA. Like, you start to take all the tidbits of all the information that you have, all the evidence that's available on who Satoshi Nakamoto is, and the only logical conclusion you can come to is it's NSA, it's the CIA, right? Let's go over them. Nobody knows where it came from, clandestine, right? Nobody's taking credit for something that is worth $2 trillion, and the supposedly creator has a wallet worth $135 billion, right? Human nature says if you created something that's such a gift to humanity, like Bitcoin is, like the crypto bros would tell you Bitcoin is, who in their right mind would not want to take credit for that, right? Yeah, they'll say he's he doesn't want to get killed or whatever. You know, it's cat's out of the bag. You know, like it's available now. There's ETFs on it. Like, why wouldn't you want to take advantage of that, right? Why would you not want to take credit for something as instrumental to the world as Bitcoin, even though it's not instrumental? It's worthless in my mind. But it's worth $2 trillion in the market, right? Just those tidbits tells me it's not a person, right? There is no person that created it. And then all this other information that's better than you would think that would point you straight to the CIA or the NSA, right? I have a video here of this crypto bro, this Andre Jink, that, you know, he likes to act like he knows Bitcoin and who Satoshi Nakamoto is, and that nobody will ever, you know, that he's gone and he's not available anymore, and he actually dead or whatever. But this is what these crypto bros do. This is what these crypto people do. They act like they know things when they know nothing. They know absolutely nothing. So check this video out, and we'll come back on the other side.
Okay, no, in all seriousness, I would say to destroy Bitcoin, you would have to destroy the faith of Bitcoin. So I think if Satoshi somehow dumped on the market, everyone would lose faith in that. Mm-hmm. Or I think like a huge solar flare that somehow takes out networks.
Okay, not bad. So we can't do Satoshi, right? Because like he's gone. He's never coming back, and we can't invoke him to come back.
How do you know he's gone?
Because he would have come back at this point if he was like incentivized financially, and Bitcoin is worth hundreds of billions of dollars. At no point in time is there a person that's like, I'm going to wait. I have a couple $100 billion now. I'm going to wait until it hits $1 trillion or whatever it is.
And you can see wallets. That's how you know.
You can see it. Yeah, his coins have not moved since I forget what.
It's his coins.
Yeah, it's in his wallet.
How many coins does he have?
Wasn't it like 1 million? Roughly 1 million coins. Yeah.
So what's the value of that?
It was like $128 billion.
Yeah, he's like one of the top
sitting in his
5.
And you've never seen that is his wallet transacting.
It's never moved. And it never will.
It hasn't moved since when? It was like 2000.
I want to say 2011, but I might be wrong. Yeah, something like that.
So are people speculating that he's passed away? That he's gone?
Most likely he's passed away, yeah. The people who think he was, but the Bitcoin community doesn't really like to talk about who Satoshi is, because that's an attack vector, right? Because if you figure out who that person is or who that group was, you can attack their character.
Vulnerability.
That's a vulnerability.
It's interesting. Right? Michael Saylor has been asked who is Satoshi Nakamoto?
He gets mad.
And yeah, he just
Yeah.
like it triggers him. Like he does not want to answer it.
Right.
And he gets like visibly upset.
Yeah, he calls it the immaculate conception of Bitcoin, right? Because it's like no one knows who gave birth to this thing. And it's smart. Like we shouldn't really try to figure that out.
Literally the only usefulness to crypto is to intelligence agencies. There's no usefulness to anybody else, certainly not with NFTs or the metaverse or, the tokenization of sports cars like this dumb video.
Maybe cars. It's like, well, you know what? I want this like $20 million Ferrari collection from Hamilton, the guy you had on, right? But I can't afford a Ferrari. So maybe that guy issues some percentage equity in his collection on the blockchain. Maybe that's Ethereum.
You went full retard, man. Never go full retard.